Hi everyone, I'm here today with Erin with Tri-County Inspections. Erin, do you want to share a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Aaron Margelo with Tri-County Inspection and Environmental. We have an office over in Delafield, just off 94 and 83. Another office in Lake Geneva. We cover from basically wherever your agent goes, we will go. Port Washington, over to Madison, down to Janesville. We cut through Lake Geneva, right through the state line, over to Mount Pleasant, up to Kenosha, Milwaukee. So where you're looking to purchase a house, there's a good chance that we don't cover it. And if it's outside of our area, we'll do our best to get there. Me, myself, I've been inspecting one way or another for over 20 years. I've been with Tri-County Inspection for, I think we're going on 15 years now. We perform home inspections, mold testing, radon testing, asbestos testing, lead testing, any sort of environmental testing that you need in addition to a home inspection, we can provide. And we have pretty fast turnarounds on those. So we're very proud of that.
Yes, absolutely. And Erin is my very favorite home inspector. He's amazing. So if you have the opportunity, I highly recommend him.
That's very nice of you.
Yeah. So, Erin, some questions for first-time homebuyers today. What are three top things you think first-time homebuyers overlook in an inspection?
I think just what an inspection is. So, why am I coming to the house that you're purchasing? What are you getting? I would say, obviously, we're looking for safety, structural, and maintenance. Second time, third time home buyers, I would just generally classify it as first time home buyers. I don't think most people know what to expect during a home inspection. Maybe they're on their second house and they weren't at their first inspection or they just received a report. So, just kind of knowledge. What are we there to do? Well, we're probably going to be there around 3 hours, maybe longer, depending on the size of the house, obviously, and any issues that we have. Home inspection can take a little longer because we want to explain that to you. But going into the home inspection, your agent's going to refer you to an inspector, or you're going to use an inspector that your parents used or somebody that you trust. And that inspector's going to come in and they're going to look at everything from the roof down to the foundation and everything in between. Safety, structural, and mechanical and maintenance. And that's kind of how we divide things up in our report as well. But things that a homeowner might overlook would just be what exactly are we doing? We're not doing well testing. We're not doing mold testing unless you want that in addition. That needs to be in your contract. We're not doing radon testing unless it's in your contract. We're doing safety, structural, and maintenance. I hope that answers your question. If not, what other questions do you have?
Yeah, that was great. So, what are some common red flags that you normally see?
Oh boy. In my opinion, everything's a red flag until I can prove it's not.
Okay.
I go into a house and I just assume everything is wrong. So I just assume there's hail damage on the roof until I drone the roof, I walk the roof and can prove there's not. I assume that there's chimney defects until I can prove there aren't. I assume that the ice maker doesn't work until I can demonstrate that it does. And that's one of the neat things about our reports is we include everything. So if your roof is perfect, you're going to get 15 to 30 photos of your roof with video showing that your roof is perfect. So if you have hail damage 6 months after your inspection, your insurance company can't say, oh, that's a pre-existing condition. We can turn around and say, no, that wasn't. During the time of inspection, 2 weeks before they closed on the house, here's a perfect roof. It's not a pre-existing condition. So in terms of red flags, we see everything as a red flag until we can prove that it's not. Obviously, we see a lot of electrical, a lot of foundation, insulation, structural issues, but there's always a lot of just easy things too. Ground faults that don't work. That's the outlets near a water source. So kitchen, bathrooms, exterior garage, those need to be on a ground fault. They wear out over time. $20, $30 replacement, not a big deal, but it is a big deal if you're the one getting shocked and you don't feel it until the breaker turns. So thoroughness and in terms of red flags, everything's a red flag until we can demonstrate it's not.
Okay. Awesome. And so explain like how long the reports are. If they get a super long report, like 30 pages, does that mean they shouldn't buy the house?
It might mean don't buy the house. It might mean the very opposite. I can speak to our reports. Our reports are very in depth, it's really neat how our reports are structured. We have a lot of sample reports on our website, wisconsininspection.com. And the way we report is, let's say your garbage disposal is not working. You'll have the kitchen section of the report. It'll show the garbage disposal is not working in a video. It'll give a description. It'll show a picture of the breaker panel showing that the garbage disposal breaker is on, the switch is on. It's just not working. Um, and then if you want to look at anything else that we inspected, you can hit more information and then you can see the temperature of the refrigerator, the temperature of the freezer. You can see that the burners are working on the stove. Very, very, very in depth, but yet consolidated. So it gets as long as you want it to be or as short as you want it to be. You can go summary with photos, summary only. But if you have a report and you have a home inspection with a report and there's tons of defects, I think you really need to look at it and speak with your agent and decide, is this the house for you? If there are ground faults, if it's an ice machine that doesn't work and it just kind of goes on and on and on with just simple deferred maintenance, I guess I really wouldn't be worried about it. If you need a new roof, if you need a new furnace, if you have structural defects, if that's stuff that you can't afford to fix and the house is being sold as is, that's a whole nother conversation. And that's why you hired the agent that you hired, and you're going to have the conversation with your agent post home inspection to determine that.
Right, exactly. And so you kind of just went into the next question too, but how to differentiate between like minor issues and major issues. Sounds like your reports are like very thorough and kind of break that out and then they discuss it with their agent afterwards.
So when you receive the report, which should come to you, I try to get them out within an hour of the inspection. And your report's going to be broken down into safety, which is going to be red. It's going to be broken down into defects, which general defects, so broken windows, structural defects, that's going to be in orange, and then safety defects, things that will kill you. That's going to be in red. So we're going to have blue, orange, red. And you're going to sit down with your agent, you're going to talk about it. But since you were at the inspection, you're going to have a feel for how serious are these problems. Yeah, reports are long. There's going to be defects. There's going to be maintenance items. But if you're at the inspection and you can physically see them, if you can open the window, close the window, you see the window is broken, it gives a little bit more relevance to it, and it's going to be an easier conversation with your agent.
Yes. And I always find that people that are there, they're very well informed and you explain like everything to them while they're
I'm
there.
not going to let you go home until you understand the home. I tell my clients, I say, if we need to DoorDash dinner to the house, we will DoorDash dinner to the house. We need to make sure that you understand the home, you know what you're purchasing. And when you move in, you say, oh, I remember when Aaron showed me that. I remember when Aaron showed me that. Not, oh, here's another surprise. Here's another surprise. So it's my job to make sure the clients understand exactly what they're purchasing and try to eliminate as many of those surprises as we can.
Okay, that's great. And what if a buyer wants to bring their parents? Is that okay? Do you like that?
Well, you're hiring me. So my clients are buying my time. If they want to bring their parents, if they want to bring their aunt and uncle, that's up to you. I never, as a home inspector, going to tell somebody not to bring somebody. I would just say make sure the people that you bring aren't distracting you from absorbing the information that I'm presenting. I would say 9 times out of 10, parents are not a problem. The only problem I have is when parents start fixing things. So I noticed a leak underneath the sink, and all of a sudden, mom's underneath the sink tightening the pipes. So we just don't want things being fixed. It's not our house yet. So, but sometimes we can't resist the urge to fix things. So that could be problematic. A lot of family, it's really not the time to show your house off to your friends and family. If you have a parent or relative that's used to be a home inspector or is a plumber, I see only benefits in that. But if it's a time to show off your house, maybe schedule another appointment with your agent to take a look at the house and things like that. But while you're at the inspection, it's just important that I can grab you and show you things and you're able to process what I'm saying over processing emotions that family members may be bringing during the time of inspection.
Yeah, great points. How should someone pick a home inspection company? Like if they're just doing a Google search, what are some things they should look for? Like, should they go with the cheapest or what are your opinions?
Yeah, unfortunately, through a Google search, it's even through agent referrals, it's so difficult to pinpoint what you need. In my opinion, high levels of communication, extremely high levels of communication, emotional intelligence, and the ability to articulate. So you want your inspector to be able to see something wrong, think about it, and then repeat it back to you in a way that you understand. That is so important. If you don't understand what's going on with your house, what's really the point of the inspection? If you go home, get the report, read the report, and say, oh, wow, that would have been nice to have seen, then what service are we really providing you? The only problem is when you're searching online, it's hard to say, well, how do I know if this person communicates well? How do I know if they're going to do X, Y, and Z? So look at sample reports. Always look at sample reports, compare and contrast. Read Google reviews. Google reviews that have been placed in the last week or two, not something that was placed in 10 years ago. So, what is the inspector currently doing, not what has the inspector done 10 years ago? And that boils down to the best way, in my opinion, is to talk to your agent and ask who your agent recommends, but then verify. So ask, why do you recommend them? Why do you think Tri-County Home Inspection is the best choice for me in my situation? And generally speaking, that response might be something that's why I use on my own home and they did a great job. Or let's check out their website. Here's their sample reports. Let's just do a Google search. Let's click on another website. Let's look at their sample reports. How do they compare and contrast? You know what? Let's get somebody on the phone. Let's, give me a call. Let's talk to Aaron. What do you think? How do you think he communicates? So those are all really important factors in choosing a home inspection company. In terms of pricing is going to be all over the board. There's the old saying, you get what you pay for. And I would say that does apply to home inspections to a point. Your home inspection is probably going to cost around $500 or $600, maybe more depending on the size of the house, maybe less depending on the size of the house and the age. But that's kind of what I would budget. That's what I would plan. Generally speaking, we try to align our inspection pricing with the price of appraisals, and that's just kind of how we move the bar. We haven't raised pricing in quite a while, but I would plan for around $500 or $600. But you really want to make sure you're getting an inspector that's doing you the service that you need, providing you the service that you need.
Yeah, I love that. Love those points. Um, what about if someone goes to a house and it looks like really nice, well maintained, and they are thinking of waiving their inspection? Do you think that's a good idea generally, or have you ever seen clients not get one and then have issues after?
Yeah, absolutely. We perform a lot of expert witness testimony. So we work for law firms, insurance companies. Sometimes, if home inspectors or real estate agents are involved in litigation, or a buyer is litigating against a homeowner. And we do see times when an inspection is skipped and there are issues that present themselves. And it's very unfortunate. And for the buyer, it's very stressful. When you move into your house, you should feel comfortable. You should be moving into a warm, inviting environment. You should spend your first night energetic. You should be happy. You should be proud of yourself. Not you move in, you unpack, you go to take a shower, and the water's overflowing the tub. Or you go to start the oven and the breakers are tripping. It's just frustrating. And usually, when you have one problem, you have several problems. So it kind of adds up to a stressful time, which is going to overpower what should be a joyful time. So my advice would be, I know we're in a competitive market and sometimes there's 30, 40, 50 offers on a home and you have to skip the home inspection. I get that. I totally understand that. My opinion would be schedule a home inspection before you purchase the home on the day of close. So you close at 10 o'clock on Friday, schedule your home inspection for 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That way we can come in, we can take a look at the house, it's vacant, everything can be up front. If there's anything major, we can address it then. If we can address it then, we're going to catch things before they become major problems. Or you're going to be going into the house going, okay, I know there's some chimney work that needs to be done. Not all of a sudden the spring comes and the chimney's laying on the roof.
Yeah,
So sometimes you need to waive the home inspection, and I get that. But I would recommend having the house inspected on the day of close just so we can get in there and provide the very minimum reassurance.
that's a great idea. And then any other advice or tips that we haven't covered that you would have for any buyers?
Oh gosh, while you're at the home inspection, it should be fun. It should be a good time. You should be enjoying yourselves. Open doors, open windows. Get physical with the house. Understand where the furnace filters are. Understand if there's cleanouts on the washing machine. Understand where shut-off valves are. Ask a lot of questions. The family home that you grew up in, did you have structural problems? Say to the inspector, hey, we had these problems growing up. Do we have these problems here? Show me why not. If a home inspector is telling you, oh, the foundation looks really good, don't worry about that crack, they should be able to expand on why you shouldn't worry about that crack. Don't worry about that crack because boom, 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 not just, oh, don't worry about it, it's fine. So, my advice would be go to the home inspection, enjoy the process, ask a lot of questions, follow up with your inspector as needed, and use your inspector as a resource. I tell my clients to call me for any reason, send me a text message for any reason. If you have a well and septic inspection performed and you don't understand it, let me know. I'll call the well and septic professional. I'll get their opinion. I'll get their report. I'll think about it and I'll translate it back to you in a way that you can understand. Whether that be a day after the inspection, a week, or 10 years after the inspection, if you have a problem, use us as a resource because we really are here to help.
And I've seen you do that personally many, many times. My clients call you after, and you're always so helpful to everyone.
And real estate is keeps moving. There's deadlines. There's things you as agents and your clients need to provide. You may have an appraisal after the inspection and the appraiser has questions.
Mhm.
Those questions are best answered by us. I can sit down, I can write a letter, I can write an email, I can address all the appraiser's questions after the fact. That's not a problem at all. It's just you need to use an inspector that's going to be able to do that and do it quickly because you have deadlines.
Yes, exactly. Awesome. Well, thank you. Oh, one more thing. How can they reach you, Erin, if they want an inspection or have further questions or anything?
Yeah, our website is tri-county-home-inspection-llc.com, but we realize that's way too long. So we switched over. We have wisconsininspection.com, and that'll take you to our main website. You can also give us a call. Our office number is 262-225-9668, and our office manager, Patricia, is there Monday through Saturday to assist you. And you can always book online on our website, see our sample reports. And the nice part about booking online is if you have an accepted offer on Saturday night, you can get your inspection booked right away. When Patricia starts answering phone calls on Monday morning, chances are we're going to be booked out for the week. So if you book online, it's super easy, super simple. And when in doubt, just give me a call. My direct number is 262-716-8997. You're never bothering me. Call me Sunday night, call me Saturday morning. I encourage you to call me, ask questions. I have no problem having a discussion before you book your inspection. In fact, I encourage it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Erin, for all your time and tips and everything that you went through.
Thank you so much for including me.
Yeah, of course.